Hey, welcome back to Season 3 of Tales of the Ducktales, Episode 22. It's Launchpad's first crash. Starts Launchpad's flying this plane dead-eyed. Scrooge is a little concerned because they're flying with crates full of dynamite. Launchpad doesn't tell him why. And lightning strikes the plane, immediately starts to crash. Wouldn't happen. Instead of crashing in the rock, they bounce across the rocks and then stop. None of the explosives blow up. Here they are. They're just all around him, scattered. Launchpad says if they don't get help soon, he's going to have to eat Scrooge. Starts reading him from this Metalocalypse book. And then starts playing his harmonica. Scrooge says, "You've always done this. We've never seen him do it once in the previous 21 episodes." So then they have a flashback to the time Scrooge first met Launchpad. And back then, Launchpad was going through chemotherapy. So he's really little. And he's got his little paintbrush. And he's still got big thighs, though. Plays his harmonica to establish that he does it. And then Launchpad, or Thomas Dolby, flies up in his ship, points out a little hole in the ground. They're going to hide in it. It's a lot like that scene from Star Wars where they fly into the worm. Scrooge gets turned into a pinhead baby. A pinhead baby flies out of his seat. They're both shocked they lived, and then they see, what's this? Oh, it's a cave woman with lipstick and stars on her boob. It's like a star-bellied Sneetch from Dr. Seuss, but it's on her boobs. And here's the queen of them. She looks like a mutated Shirley Temple with star boobs. And so they're like, the men are ours. They all cheer. God. And they put them in their chairs next to this lake. This big-ass crab comes up and pinches him. Scrooge gets scary-eyed. Launchpad turns into a ghost. And then Launchpad is shocked, and Scrooge is high. And Cave Woman's spear and cheer the crab. And then it just cuts to them eating out the insides of the crab. So they just murdered this giant crab. Now they're eating it. Disgusting. The meat looks like hair. Tearing it out like animals. Scrooge and Launchpad doing dishes, commenting on how it's normally woman's work. It's a very misogynistic episode. And then they put pearls on them because they say that's, it's role reversal. So they use the pearls to cut out of their jail. And they get attacked by an octopus. A little weird-faced octopus. Cancer Launchpad goes googly-eyed. This nightmare pops up, and then they shoot down these rapids. Scrooge gets dizzy. Launchpad gets his donger stuck in a tail flap. So then these kids show up. These little, men kids that have adult voices, and they tell Scrooge to shut up. Because then the bats show up, and they make a bunch of silly faces. It's about 20 minutes. They're looking at you. Fat lady gets stuck. And then they found the lost city of diamonds. This wasn't even a plot point. It never came up until now. They just knew they needed a treasure because it's Ducktales. Swims in a soot with these crowns on. Immediately launches into a racist Asian stereotype character that he calls Dr. Fong. And I'm not going to do the accent, but he says basically like Dr. Fong, Wanty Diamond, but he didn't say it like that. He starts chipping away at the palace immediately, and it just comes down. It falls to pieces. The Launchpad shreds a pillar. Surfs, cool. Best surfing since Batman and Robin surfed on those doors. Ifruppy Scrooge. So they get back to the plane with their diamonds. Here's Scrooge. He's doing his little rap character. They blast out of the core of the earth. It's revealed that they're in the core of the earth the whole time. They blast into the sun. They fly through the sun. Then they come out of the crater, and it causes the very, very unfunny and tragic Icelandic volcano explosion. So now they're in a museum. They put this plane in a museum. This lady shows up. It's clearly one of the kids in the hall dressed as a woman. And then it cuts back to modern times. It turns out that the whole thing was a fever dream. Scrooge decides, if I'm going to die, this is my time to kill Launchpad. He's going to bash him over the head with a piece of the plane. But instead, they pick up a wing and it soars off into the air. I know you'd be a pretty big scumbag to complain about reality in a show about talking animals, but when someone picks up a piece of a plane and just automatically flies in the air, it's very upsetting. but doesn't last forever, and they fall straight down like some other. It seems familiar for some reason. Ripoff. And they land in this cactus patch, and they sleep on a cactus. Like, someone else I know. Ripoff. And Scrooge is mad, so we iris in on his head, and then there's a face. All right, so this piece of beauty was written by Anthony Adams and Michael Keyes. You may remember them from